What's up, world? You guys know what it is. It is your boy, the one and only Mykell, the PG, the guy that you should love. I am here with you live, doing my thing with you here for my first ever episode of my brand new show, the Mykell Mathieu Show, where I'm just gonna do it myself, baby. And that's the title of this episode is Let Me Do It Myself. I thank you guys for being with me for this first go around, tapping in from wherever you are. But it's time to go crazy because there's a lot of things going on. And with this show, it's going to be me unfiltered talking about things in the sports world, talking about the hip hop world, of course, and any craziness that's going on in the world or in the world of social media because I'm someone that's pretty tapped in. But I am, if you don't know, I am Mykell Mathieu, one half of the Misfits here, ready to go crazy with you guys. So since I am Mykell the PG, first of all, if you follow me on my social medias, you know that I have to be tapped in when it comes to the NBA playoffs. And it's some great basketball going on, except if you're in LA, there's no basketball going on because both team season came to an end last week. And let's start with the Lakers. The Lakers, with everybody screaming, Lakers in five. Even myself, I said Lakers in six. I thought that they'll find a way to make it happen, but we didn't realize that they just wasn't what we thought they were. They were a team with no size. They were a team who, after Bron, Luca, and Austin Reeves, they had no one who really can make anything happen. So it was a tough go for them against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who came there and smacked them up. And it was a tough going for the Lakers as they lost in five. They need some help. They need a lot of things to go right for them to take a step forward. But you go get Luca, that helps you build towards the future. But man, if it's up to me, I hope people don't hate me out there. People call me a hater. I don't give a damn. This is my show. I believe that the Lakers need to find a way to get off of LeBron James. They have to go into a brand new direction. You got your new piece. You're not going to be dependent on Anthony Davis, a guy who is often injured. You have Luka Doncic, and whether you believe in him or not, I'm up and down with him because I call him Cone Drill on defense or offensively. He is a lot like James Harden, and we're going to talk about James Harden when it comes to the playoffs. But you made your choice. You said, hey, we got Luka Doncic. He is our guy of the future. Why not start it now? I know that everybody or most people love LeBron James out there. He is one of the top five greatest NBA players to ever play. At 40 years old, he averaged 20 plus doing his thing and balling. But when it comes to winning, and that's what the Lakers want to do, that's what us Laker fans like to do is win so that we can talk mess to the Clipper fans and talk mess to the Celtic fans or whomever because the Lakers have won the most since modern day basketball. We want to see a winner, and we know that with LeBron James at 40 years old, next year he's going to be 41. Yes, of course, he can go and get his stats. He's been doing that his whole career, but his impact on winning is no longer the same. So I believe that it's time for the Lakers to make a change. And I know it's going to be tough. He's going to probably try to opt into his player option to get that 50 plus mil. And can you imagine trading LeBron James? Would a team actually do that? Damn it, the Lakers done it before. They traded Shaquille O'Neal, who helped bring the team not one, not two, but three NBA titles alongside the late great Kobe Bryant. But they've traded a superstar before. Why not do it now? You got JJ Redick, who's going into his second year, who was just totally outcoached. He looked like a guy that doesn't look as smart as he tried to show himself to be, but he's young. He's figuring it out. It's his first time coaching any type of real basketball when it comes to either the collegiate level or the NBA. But it is time for the Lakers to move forward. You got your young coach, you got your young star. Let's start doing a soft rebuild and get off of LeBron James in that contract. See wherever he wants to go to end his career. And you can even be nice. You can say, hey, we'll send Bronny James with you and send Bron wherever, but just go into a soft rebuild so that they can get some young pieces around Luka, around Austin Reeves, and figure it out. But that's just me. I don't know if the Lakers are going to do it, but if I have my hand and input into that situation, that's what I will be doing, because it's a new king in Los Angeles, and his name is Luka Doncic. To keep it in LA, when it comes to the NBA playoffs, the Los Angeles Clippers broke my heart. I had the Lakers going out and bowing out before the Clippers. It happened, but only by 2 games. I expected the Clippers to knock off the Nuggets. Once again, I picked the Lakers to win in 6. They lost in 5. I picked the Clippers to win in 6, and they lost in game 7, which was a game that they did not even show up to play ball in. The Clippers were just outplayed. They looked like a team who said, hey, maybe we should call it quits this game and get ready to go to Cancun for real, because we know James like to turn up. They even got Kawhi outside a few times this year. So maybe that's what they were thinking, because after looking like a better team most of the series, you let go of game 1 when you're blowing out the Nuggets and they somehow catch you and beat you. You come back and claw back in game 4, and you get knocked off in a buzzer beater by a putback dunk by Aaron Gordon. It was tough to see their performance in game 7 to lose the way that they did without really having fight. And it comes back. James Harden, I mentioned him earlier. James Harden is a guy that people look at his regular season play. They see the numbers. They see the 20. They see the step back J with the smooth left hand. But they look at the playoff drought. They look at how he struggled, how he has not played up to par. If he goes crazy, they win that game 7. I said it all series long. I said if the Clippers want to win this series, it's going to come down to James Harden and Norman Powell. Their guard play had to match or be better than the Denver Nuggets, and they combined to score, Norman Powell and James Harden, 16 points. You know who else had 16 points? Russell Westbrook, the guy that they gave up on, the guy that they moved away from. He went out there and put together a hell of a game. Hey, his new nickname for me is the Mario Kart mystery box, because you don't know what you're going to get from Russ. It can be a red turtle shell where he's going to knock you off, or it can be something like a banana where it doesn't really mean much. But he showed up against the Clippers. I got to give my guy respect, because he balled out and did his thing to help the Nuggets move on. And the Clippers, now they're continuing to say, how do we bring a championship to our fans? If you weren't able to make it inside of the Intuit Dome this year, especially during that playoffs, you are missing out on a treat. They possibly had the best crowd experience during the playoffs. It was bonkers up in there. It is made for the NBA playoffs. It is made for basketball. Comparing it to Crypto.com Arena, where fans are real laid back and chill. When it comes to the Intuit Dome, those people are there going up and going crazy. So shout out to the fans. It was a great run this year, covering them. If you want to know what happened in a glimpse, go and tap in with my show, Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. Me and my guy Beef did our thing with the Clippers this year, but I thought they were going to play much longer, but it didn't happen. But let's keep it there with the NBA playoffs, because I am Mykell Mathieu, a.k.a. Mykell the PG, and I have to talk about this hoop, baby. And the Lakers, Clippers, they let me down, but it's some good basketball being played. The second round of the playoffs is here. You have on the West, the Nuggets are going to be matching up with Oklahoma City Thunder. That gets popping off tonight. It's going to be a really good series. I just think that it is the Thunder's time. They look like that young team that is ready to make that jump. They got some dogs on that team. They got a superstar who should be an MVP this year in SGA. They look like they mean business, and I'm expecting them to be great. I got them knocking off the Denver Nuggets in 6 games, making it happen so that they can get to that conference finals that they missed out on last year. Then the next series, you have the Warriors and the Timberwolves. Do you guys see that schedule? They're playing a game, day off, game, day off, game, day off. That is not a good look for the Golden State Warriors, who is coming off a hard-fought Game 7 series win over the Houston Rockets, because now you're going to not only get a Timberwolves team that is a team full of dogs. Ant looking like the next guy when it comes to the NBA. Julius Randle coming off the best series when it comes to the playoffs of his career. Rudy finished strong. They got Nas Reed. They got McDaniels, Mike Conley there. That team is looking strong, and now they have the advantage of added rest. And who would have thought they was going to have home court advantage in the second round? But they do. I'm gonna go with the Timberwolves. I think they win it in 7 games. I think they're hard fought. They know what it felt like last year to be so close that they're like, hey, we need to get back to the Western Conference Finals. And I think over Ant's dead body that they don't make it to the Western Conference Finals. I'm sorry, Steph fans. I know. It may not end the way that you expected with Jimmy Butler, but the Timberwolves mean business, and I'm rocking with them. Then we take you to the East Coast where you have some playoff hoop going on right now. You have the Boston Celtics going up against the New York Knicks. Last time I checked, they were smacking up the Knicks. The Knicks are just can't get right. They're a lot like the Cowboys in the NFL. They're a team that has the glitz and glamour. And hey, I'm wrong. It's actually a tie game in the fourth quarter, 86-86. But I'm going with the Celtics this series. I just think that the Celtics have the championship pedigree. They have 2 guys that can finish the game. The Knicks got one in Jalen Brunson. Can you imagine having 2 guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on your team? So I like the Knicks losing this series. I like the Celtics winning this series in 6 games. It's going to be hard fought because it's 2 rivalries, 2 big markets. It's going to be fun, but I think the Celtics have too much because, like I said, I think that the Knicks are just the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. They're a team that has the name, the glitz and glamour, but they never really have the game. Hell, they haven't won a championship since Walt Frazier was in the NBA. How many of you guys know Walt Frazier and who that is? Probably not a lot of you if you're not deep into this basketball thing like myself, but they haven't won since Walt Frazier. They haven't made a championship since OJ was on the freeway in his Bronco running away from the police. They haven't even played in a. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm messing up. They did actually make the finals. 99, they lost to the Spurs, but we knew they had no chance. The last time they really had a chance to win a championship was with Pat Ewing when MJ was out the league, when OJ was going crazy. That's the last time they had a true title contender. So I just don't see it for them. I got the Celtics winning that series. And then we got the final series, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers, and I might have to lean towards the upset. During the year, the Pacers has had the number of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've been smacking them up. They went into Cleveland in game 1, got them a big time win, and the Cavaliers are kind of banged up. You're unsure if Mobley is going to be able to go in game 2. DeAndre Hunter hurt himself. You're unsure if he's going to be able to go. If those guys don't play in the next game, in game 2, Indiana is going to find a way to win that team because the Pacers are a team that just made a conference finals last year. They are built to try to make a long run. So I like the Pacers. I will pick the Pacers in 7 games. Like, that is one series that is like clearly a toss-up. You can flip a coin, and wherever it lands, you can go that way. But it is going to be a great, great series. So it's some great things that's going on when it comes to the NBA playoffs, and you have to love it. So I got to give love because if you following me in my journey, me and my guy Elam, the other half of the Misfits, you know that we're not only tapped into the NBA, we are also tapped into the WNBA. And if you're a basketball fan out there, make sure that you guys check out some WNBA basketball. It is some great hoop, and I'm excited to be there with the Sparks this season. I got my show. Make sure you tap in with me and the homegirl DJ Tracy Treese, LA Sparks Weekly. You can follow us on Instagram. Really dope content. We about to go crazy this year covering everything Sparks. And I'm excited for the Sparks. I believe that they have a chance to be a WNBA playoff team with the addition of Kelsey Plum, the return of Cameron Brink. Rakia Jackson is going to go crazy once again this year. I truly believe in her game. And I like the draft picks. They got some pieces. Brand new coach. It's a lot of great things going on with the LA Sparks. So LA, the love is needed for the LA Sparks. So make sure that you guys tap in, show love. Like I said, tap in with me. I got you covered here with the Mykell Mathieu Show, with the WNBA, with the Sparks, and of course, LA Sparks Weekly with Infinity TV and the homegirl DJ Tracy Treese. But you know me. When it comes to me, of course, I love sports, football, basketball, a little baseball, a little soccer here and there. But that is not it about me. You see the shirt, you know what's going up. I'm a huge Marvel fan. Actually, going to be watching that Thunderbolt soon. I keep hearing it is one of the better MCU movies. I got to see for myself because everybody, they be talking about nonsense and they don't know what's going on. But today is Cinco de Mayo. For you guys that celebrate out there, happy Cinco de Mayo to you. But I got to talk about something that happened with Cinco de Mayo last year, and this is 1 year anniversary. Everybody knows we've been breaking down the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef for a long, long time. And I'm somebody, best believe, I'm on Twitter going crazy, talking mess to Drake stands and all these people who's talking nonsense about the beef and battle because I was fully invested into it. Yes, I'm a huge sports head, but I am also a huge hip hop and music head. So I was locked in and I was telling homies for years, Drake does not want to see Kendrick Lamar when it comes to a rap battle. Yes, Drake can make the bops, the hits, the Nokias, or etc., but he can't not rap with Kendrick Lamar. Do not rap against Kendrick Lamar ever. It was in his name. We all just missed it. And that's exactly what Kendrick was able to show everybody with the way that he went crazy in that battle. And it was just really dope. And since I am a sports guy, football guy, whatever you want to call me, how about we break it down in terms of football? So when it came to the battle, taking you back to last year, how I was able to see it. First, it really got popping off with like that, what Kendrick came out and said, it is not anybody else. Is no big three. It is big me. And he did his thing, had everybody talking about it. So since we're going to do a little sports analogy with it, I'm going to think of football. So like that was a touchdown, 7-0. Kendrick Lamar has the lead early on. Push-ups drop. That song was meant to be Drake's back-to-back. He wanted to give you a bop. He wanted people to be at the club saying, drop and give me 50, drop and give me 50. But it didn't hit as hard as he expected it to be. But it had people talking. It had people going. He had some dope disses in there, but they weren't really pointed to Kendrick too much. And that was kind of his issue throughout this whole battle. He wasn't focusing too much solely on Kendrick Lamar. When you have this great guy in front of you, this great MC in front of you, you cannot focus on the other guys. They're pretty much scrubs at this point. If you playing one-on-one against Michael Jordan, don't be talking mess off the court to Scottie Pippen, Reggie Miller, whoever's tuning in. You better focus on who you playing, and you have to try to knock them off. And I think that was a problem for him during the battle, and it hurt him in the long run. But push-ups, I'll give him 7 points for that. I think that's a touchdown that he was able to get. Then he came with Taylor May, the West Coast beat sounding like it's straight from Dr. Dre. He had the AI voices of Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg, and then the third voice, of course, was him. But I think that he really miscalculated this. I think that, yes, he tried to make it funny, and he thought people would be behind him and joking with him doing that. But the West Coast, man, we move different over here. We really like to respect our OGs and legends as much as possible. And then it's Tupac. Like, he can't speak for himself. You know, Snoop had the video where he was dancing and stuff to the record, but he came out in an interview, said, yeah, like when I was dancing, I was to a whole nother song. Somebody slapped that music on. Whether he was lying or not, that's what he said. Tupac couldn't speak for himself. So he couldn't really fight at all to be like, hey, bro, don't be using my voice. So his estate did it themselves. They said, nah, not cool. We not rocking with it. So they decided to take that song down. So if you gave Drake a touchdown, you had to drop that thing back. It was a holding on the big pass play. He only get 3 for that. Drake was in the lead 10-7 when it came to the battle. Then Euphoria dropped and it was a missile. It was an old school Patrick Mahomes over the top to Tyreek Hill for 70 yards type of touchdown. it was to me the best rap song of the entire battle. Like it was Family Matters' big brother. The three beat switches, Kendrick going to the different flows, but once again, Kendrick had one target and he took him out, and he even was able to get some stuff off when it came to the YNW Melly bar for J. Cole. So Euphoria was a big time score to shift the momentum, had guys like Academics and Maul shook up and going crazy. Kendrick did his thing with that. So that's 14-10. Then he surprised us early in the morning last year on a Friday, 616 in LA, where it was very lyrical, miracle type of rap with him doing his thing. And Kendrick, he over these soul samples, which is crazy. Like Kendrick over the soul samples is amazing. He did his thing there. So I'm going to make it 21-10. Kendrick Lamar at that point. Then comes Family Matters. We were all waiting for the red button that Maul was talking about, that Drake posted on his social media. We got what he thought was his red button. And had some haymakers in there. But the honest truth, I wasn't really feeling too much the first part of the song. I thought it was cool, but we heard a snippet of it, and it was like, I thought it was going to be more impressive, that part of it. And to me, the best part of the song was the second verse, but the only problem, he wasn't even talking about Kendrick Lamar. Those bars were crazy over the drill beat, but it wasn't about K-Dot. It was a lot of A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, Rick Ross. Like if he was just battling them, he smacked them up and got them up out of here. But that wasn't the main target. It was Kendrick Lamar. The third verse was pretty dope. I love that beat, was amazing. One of the better beats of the battle, but it just wasn't enough. But we'll give him a touchdown. It's 21-17 at that point. Kendrick Lamar was in the lead. And right after Drake scored and the OVO team was going crazy, the Owls were flapping their wings. They kicked the ball off, and a kick return was taken right back down for another touchdown because Meet the Grams dropped like 50 minutes later. And I just remember like, okay, tapping in. I was about to go into another listen of Family Matters to break down the lyrics. Then I got an alert that Kendrick Lamar had dropped again, and Meet the Grams was diabolical. I know everybody talks about, he made up a daughter. Whether he made up a daughter or not, that first, second, and fourth verses, talking to Adonis, talking to Drake's parents, then talking to Drake was a heart-to-heart, talking to his soul. It did its job. It's a record that is so eerie, and that beat by Alchemist is out of this world. It did its job, and it was able to snap people back into reality that Kendrick is in control here. So that's another touchdown, 28-17. And then they put it away. It was a big time play action pass. Tom Brady to Gronk or Jerry Rice from Montana. Not Like Us dropped, and it shook up the world. I've been telling it to everybody. It is the perfect song. It has dope lyrics. It has memorable bars. It has call and response. The beat is fire. It is the type of track that we've been missing from Kendrick Lamar for a while. Just a straight West Coast beat. Like Kendrick did his thing with Not Like Us. It is a song that we will remember forever. I remember being young when Ether dropped, when Hit 'Em Up dropped, and to finally get a moment for myself as an adult with Not Like Us in a battle, nevertheless, was crazy. And that song is still doing incredible things today. Kendrick is on tour going crazy with that song. Not Like Us was a for sure win. So it was 35-17 for Kendrick Lamar. And then the final track was Heart Part 6, which was pretty much a strip sack fumble recovered by TDE and PG Lang, because I was not a fan of the Heart Part 6. You never go on the defensive end in a battle. You just keep attacking, keep attacking, keep attacking. And Drake didn't do that. He tried to say that he expected he expected the lyrics. We set this stuff up. I hope that isn't true, because you went out bad when it comes to that. He was better off not even replying at all and just kind of like, K-Dot, man, he got me with this one. I'm going to wait till the album coming. I'm going to have some stuff for him. But in terms of football, 35-17, Kendrick Lamar picked up that win. If you have it any other way, you have lost your mind. Kendrick Lamar won that battle easily. Just to rate the songs for you, because it's been a year, we've been able to digest what we've been able to hear. We saw the impact of the records. We see where we are now. One guy put out an album that's two-time platinum after dropping it in just November. He's on tour right now. He's going crazy. He won 5 Grammys for his diss record, and he is the new face of hip hop right now. And the other guy is Drake, trying to find his way once again, where guys like Maul is going crazy and crying and trying to say he didn't remember Euphoria and things like that. It was pretty dope to see Maul and DJ Head go at it, but I wish DJ Head would have really got on his head, really got on him, because Maul has been delusional this entire battle. Just like a lot of people out there on Twitter, these Drake stands, and I'm a fan of Drake. I like Drake as a rapper. I think that he's dope when he's really locked in and really focused on showing people that he's that guy. But recently, he's been more focused on trying to make hits. But these stands out there are crazy, crazy, crazy. But we're gonna talk about that in just a second. But just to how I rank these songs, looking back a year now to the greatest battle in the history of hip hop. Not Like Us, 10 out of 10 is a masterpiece, the perfect song, a great, great record. Kendrick did his thing like that. Euphoria is the best rapping song of that. Like I said, it's the big bro to Family Matters with the 3 beat switches. It's like if Drake was able to somehow drop Family Matters first before Euphoria, people say Meet the Grams killed that, but if he could able to drop it first, it would have hit different. But 10 out of 10 for Euphoria, 7.5 for Family Matters. Like I said, that third verse was fire, was hard. The beat was crazy. The second verse went hard with the drill beat, but I wasn't too keen of the first one. It just didn't hit hard enough. And with the second verse, it wasn't enough about Kendrick, who was your main target in this battle. Then I will have Meet the Grams. I give it 7 just because it was diabolical. It did its job. You can go back and listen to it, and it just changed your mood. Whenever a song can hit you and change your mood, and it's a diss record, it's like an Eminem track. With him getting at you, it just changed your mood. It did its job. 616, I give it a 7 as well. Wasn't too many disses towards Drake, but it was him talking to God saying, hey, sometimes you got to go to war. And whenever I do go do that, you know you are in trouble. Then push-ups, I give it 6.5. He thought it was going to be his back-to-back. It wasn't that. And then tailor-made, I give it a 6 out of 10. People don't forget there was the Buried Alive Drake track that he put on Instagram before Family Matters. If you haven't heard it, go and check that out. It's solid, but it wasn't the greatest for me. I give that a 5 out of 10. And then, of course, Heart Part 6 should never been put out. 4 out of 10. Should have been thrown away. That's why you need to not have yes men around you. You need people to tell you, hey, bro, this ain't it. We need to not drop this because it's not hitting. Because that's what Hard Part 6 was. But man, what you got from this battle, which I've been noticing, because like I said, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, tapping in with people, starting debates just because I like to debate. I like to talk mess to people and try to outwit them. I think it's a fun game. I hope you guys don't take me too seriously out there on X and Insta. I like to debate, baby. And some of y'all go too far. And I think that stand culture is ruining rap and sports debates. I think that people are so locked in on their favorite rapper, entertainer, or athlete that they don't even give a thought of somebody being better. Like of course, we know the LeBron James, Michael Jordan debates that we hear, LeBron James, Kobe. People are so locked in on their guys that they're not even willing to change their minds. Even if you give them a great argument, they're like, that's my guy. Nobody can tell me anything different. You saw it with the DJ Head and Maul discussion on the Rory and Maul show. Maul was like, there's nothing that you can tell him about anything when it came to the battle. Family Matters was the best track with the best bars. No matter what you showed him, you could present him bars of Euphoria. You could present him bars of Family Matters. It's nothing changing his mind. And you have a lot of that today in these debates. That's the only negative I would take from the Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle, that it really showed you that stand culture is real. Like, I couldn't believe my eyes when I would see on X people like, hey, Let's stream this album tonight. Turn on your streaming platform and keep the album playing through the night. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? You guys are really doing this to try to help guys who aren't putting any money in your pockets. That's why I be having me wondering, do you guys work for OVO? Do you guys work for PG Lang, TDE? Because that is crazy that you guys are doing that. But it's just how deep they are all are as stands. Like, these people do not care about any arguments that you present. They are stuck in their ways, and it makes it unfun because it's like, man, I can't even really talk to you and have a real conversation with you about any of this stuff, whether it's rap, whether it's NFL, NBA, because you're stuck in your ways. You're not even trying to listen to somebody's rebuttal or reply. So stand culture is really killing a lot of fun when it comes to rap debates and sports debates. And I don't know how we get out of it. Like, I don't think we've ever been at this level of stands the way that we are all like watching and viewing it today. Like, go tap into my ex and go and check out some of my back and forths with people. And I'm trying to like give like, it's people who really out there living saying Drake won that battle. Even after everything we've seen after the battle, they're like, I don't care what you tell me. Drake won that battle because the stand culture is just crazy. Michael Jordan has the most accolades when it comes to the history of the NBA. And to this day, people are still trying to say LeBron James is the greatest ever. MJ won 6 rings, 6 final MVPs, has more MVPs than LeBron. His points per game average is better than LeBron. He played on one team. He elevated the Bulls to another level. To still to this day, he hasn't played with them for what, 20 years or more, and they're still one of the top teams when it comes to the NBA because he had this impact to where LeBron was just leaving teams. He's never elevated a franchise to new heights like Michael Jordan, like Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, and etc. But people still will argue to death, even if you show them factual evidence that a guy is better than the other, because they're kind of delulu and they're stuck in their ways as being stands. And it's just a culture that I'm not a fan of. I love a fine debate, but I like a debate when people keep it real, and a lot of you guys don't do that. So that's what I'm feeling about that. I don't know what you guys feel about the stand culture that's out there. Are you a stand? Ask yourself, are you a stand? Because you have to cure yourself of that so that you can be logical and have some really dope conversations. Before I get out of here, when I think about legacy, right, on this journey as a broadcast journalist, where I am and where I expect to be, it's all going to be a part of my legacy. But I think out there, the most important legacy that you have are on how you treat people. That is mostly how people are going to remember you. And I want to be remembered as somebody who gives back, who gives game to people, who try to give a helping hand. And I think a lot of people overlook that today. They don't realize how you treat people is what people are going to remember most. No matter how great of an athlete, entertainer, a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever you are, people are going to remember that, of course. But what really hits home is when you show love to other people, you spread love, you give game, you try to be a good person. People remember that type of stuff forever. And that's the type of person I want to be remembered as. So if you need any type of support or love or just a conversation just to uplift your spirits, I am here to help you out, man. So Mykell Mathieu, this is my new show. Make sure you guys tap in like you see down below, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. See what I'm talking about. I'm going to be bringing you everything from the sports world. I'm going to be bringing you everything from the world. And I'm going to be bringing you everything from the social media world. Just in case you're not tapped in when it comes to the culture and what's going on in social media, I got you covered. So come check me out. The Mykell Mathieu Show here with the Misfits. Make sure you guys tap in with the Misfits. We go live every Sunday, me and my guy, Eric Lampkins II, to bring you the news and everything that you need from two great up-and-coming sports journalists here in Los Angeles, California. Episode 1 is in the books. Make sure you guys tap in with me Wednesday. It's going to be some more fun. Got more hoop to talk about. Let's see what other craziness is going to be out. I know Matt Gala is today. Let's talk about it. I gotta go watch Thunderbolts after I watch some more basketball. So I'll catch you guys Wednesday. You guys have a good day. Peace.